It's difficult when you're in your house all the time. I wake up at, 7 o'clock, drink a cup of coffee, have film class, and, then I have a Twitch class, and then I have a pre-recorded. I'm basically just inside all day.
Usually I wake up at 8 a.m. and do my Japanese class over Zoom. I go back to bed, wake up for whatever my next class is. I usually don't pay attention during those. I usually fall asleep, and then I do homework for the rest of the night.
If you really put in the effort, you can get a lot out of Zoom. I think for certain people, it's really hard to look at a screen for 14 hours a day.
I feel like I'm receiving less value. I'm not engaging as much as I used to, and I wouldn't raise my hand over Zoom, or I wouldn't type anything into chat if I had questions. I kind of just suck it up and do it on my own time.
I do think it's a little expensive, for sure. Zoom is not nearly as good as in-person. You go to in-person class, you engage, and then you have homework. In this Zoom world we're in today, it feels like you're doing homework 24/7.
In terms of engagement, I'd have to say Zoom, because you have your camera on and because you can talk to your instructors.
At first, when we started doing Zoom, I hated the system. I hated how it all worked. And I think it was just because it's really hard to engage with kids that you don't know over a FaceTime, basically.
It really depends on the professor if they're encouraging engagement or they're just rambling, because when it gets to that point, then I lose the interest completely.
One of our classes is an anthropology class, and we do it on Twitch. And I really enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed him just recording a lecture and talking to us. But now that we're 5 or 6 weeks in, or whatever it is, I really think Zoom is the only way that you can learn.
If they're just lecturing, I prefer to keep my camera off so that I can relax, because otherwise I just feel really tense and uncomfortable.
I enjoy to leave my camera on. It also depends on the class. Zoom's not ideal, but at the end of the day too, you try to engage as much as you can. When your camera's off, it's just easy to, mess around. It's easy to go on your phone. It's easy not to look at your teacher and try to talk with him. If you have these pre-recorded classes or you have these Twitch classes, you're messaging on a typing board, and it's way easier to slack off.
I feel like I'm doing okay, but I did have COVID. Doing it at the same time as that was really hard. I'm tired all the time just because I'm laying in bed doing school and I'm not active and I'm not seeing people, so I'm not as energetic as I used to be. I think it's okay, but I think it could be handled better.
I think I've gotten used to it. And it's a little bit better now. It's a hard transition, that nobody really saw coming. I think we're at a point now where I think everybody's acclimated and gotten used to it, but initially it was really hard for me to feel motivated to do anything school related over Zoom.
Especially for people who are freshmen, they're gonna miss out, first of all, on their college experience and on the hands-on experience that comes with a lot of majors, like science majors and film majors that learn through real-life application. I'm lucky enough to have had 3 years in physical school, but I think if it continued, people would lose a lot of the quality education that you pay for with your tuition, and you might as well just start educating yourself.
Classroom itself doesn't really affect me as long as the people in there are good people to surround yourself around, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are. If you have passionate people, then that's the best thing that you can have. There has to be some alternative way to make it fun, because it can get super boring and learning should be fun.